transfer and maybe you pick that first. It sounds silly, but there's a strat in there. It's a real thing, not making it up.
It does make sense. And overall, I mean, these maps are all very meta, so nothing too surprising.
Well, we'll have to wait and see how these two teams go, ladies and gentlemen. It is our very last quarterfinal of the day. At the moment, there is no team from the Southeast Asia region and no team for the Korean region in tomorrow's semi-finals. And right now, UniqueMonster up against Mantas FPS are fighting for the right to represent their region in Sunday final day. Gentlemen, let's get into the action.
Straight into it, we've got Consulate for us, a top floor defense. Consulate, every time Consulate gets casted, the first thing the casters say is, well, which bomb site are they going for? Which bomb site can they go for? Well, every bomb site's viable.
Yeah, every bomb site's viable, but at the same time, the console office and the garage are the two, you could say, rather more popular ones. And with console office, it does offer quite some amount of vertical gameplay as well, as you can use the C4 from below, right, pretty much on 90% of the plans.
Absolutely. So the top floor bomb site, and honestly all of the bomb sites, Consulate is a very destructible map vertically. We do have kind of a lot of opportunities to use, for example, the C4 to completely block out the A and B bomb site on the top floor. Interesting, we have all of these windows already pre-broken. That's a really aggressive play coming out from Mantis to start with.
And we are seeing the Hysterics and Oba combo that they really like to pull off with the moment both of them are already inside of the building. The Hysterics will get on the drone. Oba will be the one to do the Ash Rush.
They are going to be meeting over Nelio inside of admin office. Admin tends to be, I mean, Consulate is a map where it's really difficult to establish your beachhead as an attacker and form yourself a location in which to expand towards the bomb site and take ground. Admin tends to be on the top floor, a place where a lot of attackers say, you know, this is where we've got to go first. So naturally, the defenders put themselves in a position to counter that.
Yeah, and that's fully understandable with admin, because admin offers quite some rotation and peeking capabilities. So that's no wonder. If only Barbecue knew right now.
Oh, no.
He got the sights right on smoke. That would have been so bad if he decided to go for the tabs. But we are seeing Nalo getting taken out.
Yeah, really nice crossfire there on two of the windows. Really good communication and teamwork from those two players. And we do have one of Mantis falling already. Wow, this setup's interesting. So we've got Oni-chan on the mirror. Actually has a mirror inside of the B site facing towards connector and A. That's going to cover the A door from the Visa stairs, but it's not something that usually you challenge from there. Usually you challenge it from connector, from within the A site. But the thing is, Consulate, it's such a common technique as an attacker is you put your Blackbeard on the B windows and you cut off so much of the map.
Yeah.
And you cut off all of these rotations.
But then again, Consulate is also known for the very easy ways to do the runouts. So if you take your time to keep the Blackbeard at the window, you're going to get peeked by a run out, and that is the least that you want to see.
Wow. Fantastic shot from Neo there. Gets taken down very low in return, though. He's going to be peeking with his mate here. Does look like Hysterics is going to be trading up. Hey, oh, and
the finish off.
Poor Kha'Zix. Neo finishes off that one, and that was an incredibly dominant round coming out from UniqueMonster.
That was very swift, actually. It turned out really well for UniqueMonster with their first push. And I don't think Mantis looked that prepared for this kind of aggression.
Not at all. In fact, I'm really surprised at Mantis, that mirror placement that I pointed out earlier. I mean, that kind of thing, it's such a strange and it's such a big risk. And if you are doing it, it's got to be worth something. But no, they lost their player on the mirror just to a bit of cheeky pre-fire, and that should not have happened.
Especially with that setup, when they had, when they used this kind of like a very different styled mirror setup. But we are seeing a pretty standard, at this point, set up inside of the security office for Mira.
Yeah, Mira seems to be quite a favored pick. I mean, it's very meta at the moment, but that said, there are a lot of teams who just choose to ignore Mira, and you're perfectly fine doing that. Old meta still works, but new meta is still a little bit of a pain in the backside when you come up against it.
We do see so far Neo going fairly big, and pretty much most of UniqueMonster getting a kill in that last round, except for Oba.
Yeah, very even kills, which is kind of what you want to see in a team, really. You want to see this perfect teamwork, that kind of trading. Like, for example, the Twitch peak got 1 kill and they traded it out. Envy Taylor being the only one to manage to get one for his team so far. He is playing the Ashe and the Ella on defense, he has been. So, I mean, that's typically your heavy fragment. You have a mute coming out that's going to be sitting inside the bathroom.
Yeah. And what I did notice straight away, which was very interesting, is the fact that the middle patch of that wall for Garage was not reinforced. So that's going to be an easy entrance for Mantis.
Yeah, I do wonder whether that was deliberate as a bait, maybe. But honestly, I mean, Garage is the kind of, like, it's almost impossible for the attackers to not open Garage. If the attackers want it, they're going to take it. One way or another, there are so many ways to counter any form of protection to that Garage wall.
I mean, the fact that they didn't even bother to use Thermite for that, that's going to be an easy way around and would eliminate a whole lot of complications.
One thing I do wonder, though, is, I mean, of course, like, it means that they don't have to repel above and open up, destroy the batteries, but the Thermite won't be using as many of his charges. He will probably still want to open up the far right-hand side panel, but he's going to be completely exposed while he does that. Really nice grenade here. Doesn't actually manage to find anything. Hyper does get taken down low, though.
And, ooh, we just seen that pre-fire that just missed Barbecue. And as you did mention, yes, we will be seeing Thermite actually use the charge. But maybe the smoke grenade will be coming out and use... Ooh, Hyper nearly gets his head taken off by that shot.
Kha'Zix's on a very long angle from a very long way away. Really, you don't want to challenge a Black Pit at a long angle like that. That's never going to work out for you, especially when you've got an SMG-11. Not going to happen.
Actually, I'd say if you still had the SMG with ACOG, then that would have been a different story. But we will be seeing Barbecue take the first kill on Sweet Black.
Barbecue does manage to get one, but then he actually moves out of the office. Envy moving on to try and take on the one above White Stairs. Hyper manages to get one, and Hysterics gets another as well.
Yeah, right. And this is currently doesn't look too good for Mantis at all for this round, as it is a 2v5 situation. Kha'Zix and Envy Taylor left.
Oh.
Kha'Zix will be taken out by Oba, and Envy Taylor will be destroyed pretty much by Hysterics with that headshot at the exit stairs. And UniqueMonster taking the lead 2-0.
Yeah, and some incredibly vocal reactions from the crowd and from the teams themselves. They are getting hyped right now. This is really fascinating to see. Like, we saw such two really dominated rounds by UniqueMonster. We were concerned about Mantis, but maybe it's exactly what Ben was saying. It's just that UniqueMonster's playstyle is so difficult to deal with if you're not used to it. It's teams playing aggressive, and this happens at every level of play. Really aggressive play makes you scared.
It could be that, or plus the fact that UniqueMonster pretty much always had to practice against top team in their region, being X-Tide, and now they pretty much gained maybe extra strats, extra skill, plus they were screaming the whole time. So maybe that was also the reason why they seem to be feeling much more confident than Mantis at the moment.
Yeah, so UniqueMonster looking really strong. I mean, I'm sure that the story's not over for Mantis. I'm really keen to see what they have to offer. Mantis, that was exactly not what I was looking for. We do have an accidental team kill on the rotate. Jaeger will be taken down probably before he's gotten out some of his utility, but nonetheless, heading into a 4v5 at this level of play, that's not going to help your team.
That's not what you want to have
especially when UniqueMonster has such a convincing lead so far. Envy Taylor still the only one with a frag on his team. UniqueMonster looking pretty even still.
That shows a very good picture for UniqueMonster, that they're able all equally to frag and be able to support each other.
Yeah, and we're going to see that more as the game goes on. I mean, it's possible that the kills will start to branch out, but we do see Oba getting pretty aggressive here below admin, actually into Visa.
And we will be seeing pretty much the same setup that UniqueMonster pulled off. Oni-chan, meanwhile, will be getting the C4 kill on Barbecue. That's Blackbeard gone.
Blackbeard gone.
And yeah, and that is one of the, I'd say, one of the main pressuring points for UniqueMonster gone as well, because Blackbeard on that dining room window has a whole lot of leverage for that.
Absolutely. When you're talking about Consulate, you're talking about Blackbeard being that impact operator there. So many long angles, so many repels, so many tight angles to hold, and having that shield in front of your face gives you such a massive advantage. So we do have a 4v4 now. Mantis have evened up the scoreline. That Blackbeard being taken down is going to have to impact the way that UniqueMonster functions. They're not going to be able to cut off all of these rotates as easily, and they might have to play a lot more aggressive, which I would not be surprised if they do.
But have a look at the past two switches to the cameras that we've seen. Mantas seem to be holding quite some tight angles, so they will have that element of surprise, as we will be seeing Neo spotting Oni-chan in the admin. So Oni-chan might be forced to start moving around and try to get some movement going.
Yeah, I'm really liking this play from Oni-chan coming out. This Mute pick. Mute is a really strong operator that we've been seeing a lot more of. And just the ability to deny Jones, especially on a map with so many staircases, as really helps out.
The first Telemine will be triggered as well, with now Hysterics seem to be making the move up on console office, with Envy Taylor already rotated at the back of the... And will be getting the drop and the double kill on Neo. The triple kill wibble coming out, and that, just like that, it's a 1v4 situation coming in from a 4v5 with an accidental team kill. And it's all up to Hyper now to try to clutch this up, but the enemy detected outside. Envy Taylor's just going
what are you doing,
cheeky, man? But I guess that's what happens when you get the numbers advantage.
You get a 3K, so you think you can just jump outside.
Ooh, Hyper nearly gets taken out, but he will be finished off by Oni-chan.
Yeah, there was no way. I mean, unless if Mantis absolutely threw that, there was no way that UniqueMonster was going to clutch that one. A valiant effort. Would be interested to just take a minute to talk about that IQ pick. We've seen that's the second time in a row we've seen UniqueMonster bring IQ on an attack. On Consulate,
I'd say it's still a viable pick for Consulate, with all of the Elemines and all of the just gadgets that you can detect and then disable. The problem was with their execution with the push on exit stairs, as that was the bane of them. They did think that because they flashed, nobody's going to be there as a probe, and then that pretty much ended up being the 3K for Envy Taylor.
Yeah, honestly, when it really came down to it, not having that Blackbeard on the B windows meant that Envy Taylor had all of the space he wanted within the B site. Usually, you can't move around B site like that, and that's why they thought they were safe to run up the yellow stairs, and they just filed up their cannon fodder, and there was no chance for them. Yeah.
But we will be seeing the full setup once again for UniqueMonster, with the setup in the break room as well, with Mira. And I'm curious how this will be played out. Will this be a rather meta play out, or will we be seeing something extra spicy?
UniqueMonster seem to be doing everything quite normal. I mean, no strange mirrors facing into connector rather than out of connector like we saw from Mantis. The typical mirror placements. Honestly, I'm just expecting to see here from Mantis trying to establish themselves a beachhead. We do have the mirror inside of the admin little closet looking into admin. Kha'Zix is going to be trying to challenge that from the window, and Envy Taylor is going to be trying to look at that from this side window. Envy Taylor is actually potentially capable of opening up that mirror from where he is repelled over there.
Well, now that the whole team of Mantis knows that Barbecue is there, he needs to either start making that rotation hole and bail out of there, because Sweet Black is already on his way. He needs to get out of there. He does manage to bail, but just at the right time, as the admin control is now fully taken, and up next will be the break room, where Envy Taylor will have just a huge leverage to push from.
Definitely. I definitely think that this was the right choice from Barbecue to fall back into where we call vending machines. this is another contested spot. There's kind of layers of this. And if you keep your defenders alive as you pull back through these layers, you're burning more time and you have more chance to get a pick, and you're not putting yourself at a disadvantage. So we see Sweet Black is going to be rounding this corner pretty soon. Quite a lot to contend with here.
And we will be seeing Barbecue potentially being the first person to respond to that aggression, with Kha'Zix coming up and will be droning up ahead, and Sweet Black potentially pushing up. Envy Taylor, meanwhile, pressurizes from the back, and Barbecue just needs some extra help to set up that crossfire, with Kha'Zix now pushing in. Ooh, Barbecue missing the shots, and Envy Taylor will be the one
and it gets
getting the
traded down.
kill, but Nalo and Sweet Black will be also securing the kills on Oba and Barbecue. And Neo manages to trade out Nalo, and now it's a 3v3. Very quick and very aggressive trade-offs
really
so far.
Absolutely, really. Oh, there you go. Blackbeard managed to pick one onto Hysterics. That is the Valkyrie down. It's now a 2-on-2. Whoa, nutty shot, Neo. That was fantastic shot. Now he's put himself into a 2v1 situation. It's all on Onichan to clutch this out. He does have a decent amount of time. He's got the 20 seconds he needs. He doesn't have the diffuser.
He will need to actually
try
to pull out the miracle, as he will try to jump in through the window, and he will be taken out by Hyper. And that is another round going into UniqueMonster's hands.
And
so far,
incredibly dominant game
so far. A very dominant and a very unexpected, as both you and me were talking to players and other casters. And a whole lot of times they was said that there would be, like, UniqueMonster will be the underdog for this matchup. But so far, we're seeing completely the opposite. Mantas getting just demolished so far.
Yeah, before we get ahead of ourselves, I do want to point out that this is Consulate, UniqueMonster's pick. It's possible Mantis just didn't ban Consulate because they never thought of it. Maybe they're just not prepared on Consulate. I mean, it's possible that they're going to give them a run for their money on Oregon.
Yeah.
However, we did think that UniqueMonster were going to favor Oregon a lot as well. So, you know, it's looking pretty dominant so far, but we'll see how it turns out. We do have Mantis finally heading downstairs. They've attempted the top floor defense twice now. They're going to be heading downstairs this time. Similar kind of loadout we do have from the defenders. And Echo being the interesting pick for this one, as Kha'Zix brings up that one, is going to be able to use that Echo drone to deny the plant, and, you know, add a little bit of extra time to the defenders.
I'm not really surprised about the pick for Echo for this plant. I would much be rather surprised if that would have been the Consul office plant and they would have picked Echo. This one is a rather rich spot for Echo, as he can pretty much traverse with his drone on both plants and be able to be really flexible about it.
And he can sit somewhere safely, unlike the top floor.
Exactly.
As for the picks on the attacker side, we do have Glaz and Ying as a combination here. We are going to be having Ying just come into the meta this season, and it's seeing quite a lot of play at the high end in the Pro League. Those Candela devices do really manage to put a dampener on any kind of pressure. When you say, okay, this is our pressure right now, we are going to apply it, you can completely you know, create a wall of just disruption for the defenders trying to peek you on that.
Yeah, and just the fact that Candela charges can be used as a fuse charge, and they can roll through the drone holes. They can offer so much more flexibility about the execution of the same strats. It's just amazing at some with some points.
And of course, Ying carrying smoke grenades is going to work very well in conjunction with the Glaz when they finally do decide to start putting down that pressure, creating that unstoppable force, that unpeakable angle.
Yeah, and we will be seeing now Oba taking an angle at the exit stairs in an attempt to prevent any kind of rotation. But so far, we're only seeing that most of Mantis are on the objectives, and Nalo with, I believe, Nichan will be Nalo just managing to survive that shot, but on half health. And this is the angle that will be setting up. Sweet Black will be trying to pick Glaz and attempting to allow Nalo to bail out of there.
This is a really omnidirectional push that we're seeing come out from UM. I mean, they're going to have to flush out these anchors. They do have a significant crossfire, and there's still the disruption from the smoke and the echo.
Yes, Echo will be the main problematic point because, yeah, that's the drone coming in, and that is the death of Hysterics. Next up will be Hyper, who will be pushing in, and Neo is already in with, trading with, Nalo taking out Envy Taylor. And Oni-chan will be taking out Oba. Barbecue will be getting the kill on Oni-chan.
It's now 2 injured players on the attackers. It's there you go. Wow, that was a crazy round. The second team kill for Mantis comes out. And I was, they managed to clutch it out anyway. I was really surprised. It was just the fact that UniqueMonster couldn't establish any, bi-directional pressure onto the anchors themselves. So they didn't go into piano, they didn't open up the floor with the sledgehammer and try and, kill that person who's sitting at pipes, and you disrupt that person who's sitting behind the yellow column or behind white van. And on top of that, it was the Glaz that they decided to push into the with the diffuser. Yeah. The Glaz pushed in first. They threw all of their smokes, and then the Glaz pushed in. It's really, you got to have your Ash, your Sledge, your Thermite got to be grabbing the diffuser. Anyone other than the Glaz.
Yeah. Or at the very least, have somebody else pressuring from the exit stairs to apply that kind of crossfire, because otherwise that Glaz was pretty much hopeless at this point.
Exactly, and allowing the Mantis defenders to just take on yellow stairs as their own and use that to jump down and have an effect. That just spelled doom for UniqueMonster.
Yeah, and now we'll be seeing pretty much an attempt of either UniqueMonster being able to emphasize on their current lead or Mantis catching up to that. We will be seeing the scoreboards, seeing how both teams seem to have quite an even out score so far, with Envy Taylor leading the charge for Mantis and Neo with Barbecue actually leading the score for UniqueMonster.
Looking very much symmetrical on both teams, I'd say. It was like about 5 or so on the top and then just kind of consecutively heading down. So, pretty even is kind of what you'd expect. It doesn't always have to be even frags.
And you can also like even distinct who is your main kind of support player, who's the main fragger. Like those distinct roles can be seen through the current scoring for this map.
So we are going to see UniqueMonster return to a downstairs defense. This time they've got a mute, and this mute is going to be Hysterics, holding heavy inside a bathroom. Now, he doesn't have a lot of reinforcers up here with him, which means that they can just open up angles onto him and wait for him to peek. Oh, Hysterics! That shot takes the head off Oni-chan all the way outside. That is the Thatcher down.
They did manage to use Thatcher, though, for the garage to destroy some electronics. So that you could say technically Oni-chan's job was done for that round, but at the same time, that was quite a good shot. Yeah. And Hysterics does have a good point as well, because he has that ADS to save him from several of those grenades and flashbangs.
Yes. So, yeah, Oni-chan falling there, it's all right. I mean, there are lots of ways to get around any utility that you would EMP on Consulate. But, however, I mean, Hysterics being allowed to stay in here still. They need to pressure from outside the north windows of bathroom and open up those walls. Envy Taylor, kind of unsure. We have Near at the black car, is just going to be looking in. Karzik's looking to repel into Piano. They are going to be having to try and corner Hysterics. They've got a 3-prong pressure applied.
Now, Hysterics needs to play it really cool, because if he will be able to catch Envy Taylor or anyone else off guard, then he will be sweet. But he will be rotating downstairs and jumping down the hatch. He could potentially... There's the C4 that I was just about to say. Barbecue does it and gets the kill on Karzik's and another kill on Sweet Black. Envy Taylor finally goes for the aggressive peek, gets the kill on Neo, making it a 4v2 with Nalo and Envy Taylor left.
Neo was very tempted there to jump down that bathroom, but it's not the right move, and he knows that Envy Taylor just going to be taking these fights with a huge amount of confidence. The way this guy peeks angles, he's got so much confidence in him.
Yeah, and with 27 seconds on the clock, Envy and Nilo will need to start making moves. And Envy gets tagged down and just killed by Oba. And that is it.
And there you go.
That is Hyper taking out Nalo and securing yet another win for making it a 4-2. No, wait. Yeah, 4-2.
Yeah, UniqueMonster are still looking really strong.
Yeah.
And Mantas still haven't managed to successfully attack that site yet. 4-2, we are on match point on UniqueMonster's pick.
Yeah, I'd say if that is going to be console office and meeting room, I'd say I'd say that UniqueMonster does have this for this attack round.
Honestly, it's pretty convincing to me.
It does look very convincing for Consulate, ladies and gentlemen. And the fact that their attack has been actually more than just confident and quite calculated in most of the parts of this matchup so far. This could be the last round for this map.
Mantas have decided to get rid of that mirror. They are going to be bringing Oni-chan on the mute. Likely to be sitting once again inside of admin, but the thing about mute is you use the mute to hide somewhere or play somewhere where they need to drone you out, and you deny the drones. But once you've done it in one round, they're going to know about it,
yeah,
and they're going to be able to predict it. And even if they don't take out the mutes, they're just going to say, all right, well, we know mute was in that area last time, so we're just going to, you know, predict and play it the same as last time. So the thing that you've got to do with mutes is use them once, trick them, and then the second time, you put the mute jammers in the same place, but you put your players in a different place.
Yeah, that's the one. And we will be going into the match. And so far, Hyper will be just going onto the rooftop, potentially just going for checking all of the electronics to see if there are any set traps made. Oba is still holding an angle from the spawn, and Hysterics could be potentially the main person to push the admin so far, with, I believe, 2 people actually overlooking it. One being potentially Oni-chan.
Ooh.
The first kill on Barbecue, actually on Oni-chan as well. That's the mute down.
Yeah, so he was playing a lot less passive than last time. Last time he managed to delay a huge amount of time just by playing passive. But meanwhile, speaking of aggressive, Kha'Zix actually jumps out onto the A balcony and managed to take down the Blackbeard. That's such a significant pick.
Yeah, that's one of those core peekers for UniqueMonster gone. But at the same time, it's still a 4v4.
Mm-hmm.
And Oni-chan was quite problematic for UniqueMonster to deal. So next up will be, if they will be able to deal with Envy Taylor, then I'd say this could be the round.
Yeah, well, I mean, they still have these mute jammers in here, so they can't quite completely see what's happening inside admin and beyond. So that is going to be giving them a little bit of grief here, but Oba does have a little bit of a self-flash here. He is going to have to be heading up this stairwell without knowing what's at the top, since there's a jammer up there.
And I was just about to mention the Hysterics Oba combo once again, but that got countered by the mute jammers straight away. Neo, meanwhile, already pushed it into the administration office. And I believe Valkyrie, played by Sweet Black, actually pushed back. Envy Taylor will be trying to hold the angle. He will be peeking him. Oba getting a couple of shots at Ella. And will be missing a couple of shots. They will be switching the angles. And now it's just, maybe Neo will be trying to contest that. Could potentially either engage Nilo or Envy Taylor. Both of them set up the crossfires so far. Both teams, actually. So what do you think could happen from starting from here?
Honestly, we have UniqueMonster just need to drone out the defenders, find where they are, and take the fights.
Oh, Sweet Black,
that's exactly what they're doing.
For the push, yep. That's the trade. So far, just the trading we're seeing for this round.
But 20 seconds to go. UniqueMonster have to get in there and find these kills. They've got to chase them down. And Hyper heads straight in and gets his head taken off. But Hysterics managed to find one onto Kha'Zix in return. Nilo finds one onto Hysterics. It's now all on Neo with 9 seconds to go. He's got to find 2. And he gets found.
And he gets found indeed. And Mantis able to stay at least one more round in this map to prove that they are able to beat the opponents.
Really interesting what we saw there in that defense. I mean, it was honestly one aggressive peek, taking out the Blackbeard.
Yep.
And then other than that, it was just delaying time, getting, they didn't even contest admin for a long time. It was the mute jammers there.
It was the mute jammers, yeah.
Mute jammers gave them 30, 40 seconds, a minute even. And then by the time that they were all pushing him, once again, we see this single directional pressure coming in from UniqueMonster. And we just have 3 or 4 defenders watching these 2 avenues, that long hallway and that one door into A. And, with more guns pointed in the right direction, you've got an advantage.
Yeah. No, this was a very interesting way how this played out, because those mute jammers actually, I believe, won Mantis the round, because if not for the jammers, Hysterics and Oba would have been able to push in straight away, because Hysterics would have been able to give Oba the info. That would have been the Ash Rush, and at the very least result in a 2-to-1 trade-off. Now let's have a look at the scoreboard. We're seeing Barbecue so far leading with the kills, and Neo with 6 kills leading with the score-wise. And for Mantis, Envy Taylor and Onichan going fairly big with Envy Taylor on 7 kills.
Envy Taylor definitely a step apart in terms of the fragging capabilities, but that said, we've seen him get too aggressive. In that early round where he got that 3K, he jumped outside when there was 1 remaining. And this kind of, you know, I don't want to be dogging on him too much, but this kind of greed is something that makes you lose rounds in the long run.
Yes.
And you need to demonstrate a sense of self-discipline and a real sense of teamwork in order to have success against a good, full, strong team.
We were talking about the discipline. Onichan could be able to pop on the mirror window. Yep, there it is. There it is. That will be a success. And now that break room is unusable. Kha'Zix will be able to pick up Barbecue straight away with that mirror window gone. And now the break room and potentially the admin is fully in control of Mantis.
Exactly the same place that Envy Taylor decided to push last time. This is the exact same way every single round has played out. We've seen a little bit of pressure in admin, but it gets dealt with, and then we see them push through, and then it's just a question of once they get to vending machines, are they winning the fights on the people who are playing in the site, or are they not? And honestly, chuck your Blackbeard on B windows.
Yeah.
Go rappel up, get your Claymore to cover off the yellow stairs run out. You need 2 Claymores, and it's risky because they can counter that. But have your Blackbeard watching that angle, and they can't peek you in long haul. And you can completely disrupt this. And having that second direction of pressure makes so much more difficult to deal with as a defender.
That is actually a very good point. And now with 5-4, with number advantage on Mantis, I'd say this could go both ways. Oba, meanwhile, does secure the kill on Blackbeard, so that's that advantage of peeking is gone as well. Now up next will be the Sweet Black or Envy Taylor. And Onichan could potentially help with setting up the crossfire. That's the push from Envy Taylor. And just while being prone, Oba could be going for that either peek. Oh, he will be flashed and will be forced to fall back. He could run into Onichan. Yep, that's the one. Ooh. And Sweet Black picking up the headshot on Hysterics as well. Just like that. It's a 1v4. Envy Taylor going big, getting another kill on Neo. Making it, yep, a very hard situation for Smoke to hold the position as he's continuously getting tagged by the drones, and he will be finished off by Nalo from the vending machines.
Mantis comeback?
Mantis comeback and coming.
Is that happening? Or what are we on, 4-3?
Yep. No, I believe this is overtime. We're already in overtime, Dev.
Wow.
And just like that, from us saying UniqueMonster is just bulldozering the opposing team, we're already in overtime.
This is Caster's curse, right? We call out that this is going to be a Mantis win, so UniqueMonster start dominating. So we call out that UniqueMonster are going to win it, and we get overtime. I'm just going to go make no more predictions. This is the only way to be safe.
Now, we can't really say that we jinxed it, but I mean...
You got to give the teams credit. It's not all down to fate. Once again, we're going up top floor. The coin flip has decided it's Mantis on the defense. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, they just won attacking on this site. UniqueMonster lost attacking on this site. I think it's just a question of, is Mantis going to run with this, what they have right now, which is a kind of momentum that they've built up over the last few rounds? Or UniqueMonster going to say, all right, come on, guys, put your head in, let's go?
I'd say this could be the time where they will be riding the momentum, to be honest. With them being able... they still made a fair bit of mistakes over this whole matchup. But I think that now that UniqueMonster seem to be losing that kind of their momentum and letting Mantis to take over in that regard. Hopefully, we will be seeing some Blackbeard action on the windows, so that could be worked out either way.
I do like the IQ pick. I mean, like we've said before, Consulate is such a large map, and it's a run-out paradise.
It's a run-out paradise, that's for sure.
So many opportunities to run out and get kills, and I mean, it's already happened more than once in this game, and that's usually how Blackbeards die. And having that IQ to counter the Valkyrie,
yes,
that's the Envy Taylor is going to be spotted out, though, below circle stairs, so he is going to have to rotate, going to be coming up yellow stairs, seeing if he can have an impact on the push.
Yeah, and we will be seeing the pretty much standard push at this point for UniqueMonster, as they will be assaulting the break room. But not that much pressure so far on the admin, but we will be seeing Hyper and Barbecue pushing those windows, as well as Neo on that Twitch drone, harassing the defenders. Sweet Black will be attempting to try to peek that as well, but nothing just yet. Neo!
Oh, and Hyper gets lit up very, very low. It's funny, you know, Mantas have said, all right, they're always pushing from this side. Let's stick 2 players in there. 1 isn't enough. Stick 2 players in there, and so far it's working. They're managing to get the frags down. And, I mean, honestly, when it comes to challenging an angle on a window, get your Blackbeard to do it.
But then again, it was Blackbeard that challenged. It was Blackbeard, and it got taken out. The C4 also got thrown out towards the dining window, so that forced Neo to fall back. Kha'Zix getting another kill on Oba, and probably you are actually right that the whole warm-up maybe that was for Mantis, and maybe they just caught a bit of that Corvidae curse.
Maybe a little bit of the Corvidae's curse coming out. Neo still taking some shots while he's trying to challenge and cut off the connector rotate, but he's getting heavy pressure. It looks like Mantis, a little bit like what we see from Corvidae, I could say, that once they see that, you know, that they're winning these fights and they're winning the rounds, they say, all right, let's get into action and let's do this and let's cut it off. And here we go, have UniqueMonster trying to fight back down and taking one off onto Sweet Black, but we have 3v4 now, 25 seconds to go. Oh, Hyper misses out on a free kill. He should have had that one. They're going to have to vault in very soon, but they're going to have to deal with the gas grenades from Smoke.
And as well as the peek from Oni-chan as he's ready to go from
whoa! So Envy Taylor managed to pick one up. Kha'Zix managed to find one, but he gets traded back in return by Hysterics. It's all up to Hysterics now, but there you have it. We have Neilio picking up another kill for himself. Mantis giving themselves a 5-4 lead in this overtime.
That was a very strange round, to be honest. First with the kill on Blackbeard, who was contesting the admin window. That was a very, very strange way to go. But this time, now Mantis leading in the overtime, and Mantis just needs one more round to win to be able to advance to map 2. What do you think this round could be played out with Garage and Cafeteria hold?
Garage Cafeteria, well, last time we saw Garage Cafeteria with the UniqueMonster defense, don't actually remember if we've seen... They must have gone there because they've won the top floor, but... Oh no, they went to the ground floor, didn't they?
UniqueMonster managed to hold Garage actually fairly well. And being able to take out Envy Taylor, who was going for very aggressive peeks of the exit stairs. So this could go both ways, but I'd say that UniqueMonster will take this round, and we will go into the last round of the overtime.
I definitely think it could go both ways. It's always nice to come into 11th round overtime.
Oh, yes.
You know, we'll see whether that actually happens. UniqueMonster definitely were dominating. Last time, I think we had the Bandit and the Jaeger sitting kind of in a really aggressive spot near the black card because Mantis isn't cutting off angles. They're not sticking someone outside Garage once they open it to watch that while they've got Envy Taylor peeking in from the yellow stairs and making holes above. So we're going to have to see. It's really, honestly, this kind of coordination that's going to get them the kills.
Yeah, and I'd say that applying pressure from above, especially for the Garage hold, is extremely crucial for the attackers. So if Envy Taylor would be able to pressure from the exit stairs while somebody's pressurizing from up top, then that will be a successful attack. Otherwise, this could get choked very quickly.
Well, it does look like we are going to see Mantis putting more of a focus on the vertical play inside Piano because we do have the Buck pick coming out. They are going to have to use that. I mean, I think they traded out a Thatcher, so I mean, the Buck pick is going to have to get rid of the batteries before Thermite can move in. Honestly, it's quite interesting here. We are going to have a full rotate. Hysterics is going to be sitting once again in the same spot. He managed to do quite a bit of damage from here last time, got a really nice pick, but he is just going to head on straight out, and I believe that is piano control for Mantis.
There's still Oba around the ground floor, so I'm curious how this will be played out. Sweet Black will be actually putting some angles from the very top floor, which could be pretty interesting to see. And Envy Taylor taking point at the top of the exit stairs. Now, Neo will be a bit now scared of what could happen, because he, like, with Sweet Black opening up the floor from the console office into the garage, that would be a pretty scary spot, as he does get tagged up to half health from... I'm not too sure who was... That was Neo, actually. Oh. He does get the angle right back on him.
He gets punished. Hysterics managed to find the angle up onto Sweet Black, but Sweet Black finds Neo and punishes him for his teammates' work. I think that Sweet Black is a little bit worried about getting C4'd, and that's why he's not heading on down into side Piano himself. It's quite odd that we see... See, look at these players. They're all looking up through the holes. They're getting incredibly aggressive. What we need to see is we need to see Envy Taylor head onto yellow stairs, sit there, cut off anyone getting too aggressive. We need, and that's exactly what he's doing. We need Thermite open up outside so they've got those angles. And then we need Sweet Black to start opening up the floor and forcing the players to move.
That's the one. But we do see the C4 on Sweet Black, so that is out of the window.
I called it, and Sweet Black was right to be cautious. Hysterics gets a really nice shot. He gets another one down. Kha'Zix, the Blackbeard, falls. Hysterics still got 30 HP to his name, and we have a 3v2. He finds Oni-chan. This man is crazy. All he has to do is find Nelio. He doesn't know where he is, and Barbecue cleans him up nicely. And UniqueMonster take this too. 11th round overtime.
Just like that. So exactly what we've been talking about. The moment that vertical part of the gameplay was gone, that was the collapse of Mantis for this one.
It's amazing. UniqueMonster see, they say, oh, I see your vertical play, and I raise you a peeking upwards through your holes.
That was very nicely played by them, as well as the push by Hysterics with the Mew getting a triple kill. That was very nice, especially getting the kill on Blackbeard.
When it's coming down to individual plays, it's kind of all over the place. Every single one of these players is showing themselves to be a strong player. And I'm curious to see what we're going to see UniqueMonster do in order to try and tackle Mantis' defense this time. So we do have, once more, a garage hold from Mantis. And UniqueMonster have decided not to bring the glass, but instead, they don't have the glass, they don't have the Ying. What they do have is a Thatcher and a Jackal. The Jackal still gives them the smoke grenades, but they don't have a glass to look through them, and they don't have the Ying for the extra smoke grenades. The Thatcher means that they can open the garage a lot faster, but honestly, I think that that's not worth a trade.
I'd say I'm more curious about the Jackal play, because with his buffed shotgun, he could still play out the role of Buck while also being able to track down the roamers. So that could be a very interesting and a very crucial point. If they would be able to even track Kha'Zix, that would be Echo gone. We also will have a look at the scoreboard with Barbecue actually playing very well with 10 kills, and then Hysterics leading up with 9 kills.
Barbecue going absolutely crazy.
Yeah, and even though he is the anchor usually player, so that is even more amazing.
Yeah, a really strong anchor managing to win every single gunfight is exactly what you want. You need your strong roamers, your strong fraggers, but Barbecue is demonstrating that you don't have to be on the forefront in order to actually get that going. We are seeing UniqueMonster looking to actually just take it top downwards, entering admin, droning it out. This is good. We need them to do this, but they need to do it quickly so that they can execute their push.
And we are already also on round 3 of overtime, so this will decide who will win the first map of this matchup. And so far, I'd say taking the control and clearing out the top floor is a very good idea, as we will be seeing Oba not being able to hit that camera, unfortunately. But it is crucial to be able to secure floor by floor. That's exactly actually what Cryptic was doing to UniqueMonster when they were versing each other during Pro League. Cryptic were clearing out floor by floor before actually attempting to push the objective.
Yeah, and you know, Cryptic really dominated in that sense, and it really helped them out. So we do see Neo, just like you said, but he's not... Dude, you could have brought the secondary shotgun, and instead he's got the pistol, so he's not going to be able to open up these holes. Finally taking out the batteries. You shouldn't need to do that. You've got a Thatcher. But, I mean, that's the way of things.
I'm more than curious that this could be potentially to disable the any ADSs or bandit charges for the mirror wall.
True.
That could be the one.
True, but honestly, you've got enough Thatcher grenades. You may as well chuck one onto the garage. But meanwhile, Hysterics gets shut down. Hibana, the utility there, not too important on this objective site. But what's more important, I would say, is Hysterics' raw fragging potential. He demonstrated last round he can just pull his head in and go for the kills. And he's been shut down early. So 45 seconds. It's now a 4v5. I think Mantis are looking the stronger in this scenario.
But we do see Neo already pushing up on the exit stairs, so he does catch Envy Taylor off guard as well, and as well as Hyper getting the kill on Onichan, Neo trading out for Oba, and look at this, Hyper already making his way into the cafeteria, securing the kill on Sweet Black, and now it's
but they've got the Echo Drone this entire time has been denying the plant, so despite the fantastic plays, they're going to have to shoot the Echo Drone or else Kha'Zix is going to win this just with the drone itself.
Kha'Zix will be continuing to deny.
He's got to wait. He's got to wait it out. He can't get shot down. Oh, now he's got to go for the kill. All right, 1 second to go. There's 5 more seconds on that plant. He's got to find 2 kills.
Can he make that? He does. He won't be able to find a single shot, and UniqueMonster will be securing the first map in this matchup for them. A very, so far, confident play by both teams, actually.
Yeah,
with UniqueMonster so far showing a beyond expectations performance.
Yes, Sandman's little tip of knowledge at the start of this saying maybe they just live underneath Cryptic's shadow. Now they can come on out, they can blossom into the beautiful team that they really are. And UniqueMonster taking a very close match, however, here on Consulate. Yeah. And they had a pretty good lead. They were looking really good. They let it come back. But fortunately for them, they didn't let it go too far. They managed to bring it back in overtime.
They did know what was their good point with the defense. That was the garage hold. Because from all that we've seen, their garage hold was very strong, and preventing Envy Taylor to frag and preventing that vertical gameplay was that crucial part that they needed to be able to secure the win.
Have we learned anything interesting about these two teams so far, now that we've seen them play one map together?
Honestly, I think that UniqueMonster are much more organized, and it's what's winning them. But the problem with UniqueMonster is that they're always, just looking at one thing. They're just looking at one angle, and they're just pushing from one side. And it means that if Mantis are just looking down the exact same angles, then they can just completely destroy any attempt at an attack. Fantastic Twitch drone kill there from Kha'Zix, I believe. But then the thing is here with, this was fantastic. Envy Taylor got incredibly excited after that 3K.
Yeah, and as I did mention before, with the other teams that UniqueMonster versed, they did have a very interesting trend of them initially losing actually about 3 to 2 rounds in a row, and then picking their game back up after they learned the approach of the opposing team. So with the, you could say technically a lower tier games that they had within the Pro League, they were able to adapt to the opposing team's strategy and be able to cut off the key players.
So just to confirm, so we played Consulate. Who did we think originally wanted to play Consulate? Did we think it was Mantis?
We actually, Consulate was the one we weren't sure about.
Okay.
So we thought that Border would be picked by Mantis and then Oregon would be picked by UniqueMonster.
Right.
But we're seeing Mantis pick Oregon and then Consulate picked by UniqueMonster.
Right, so they've got Oregon coming up now. So this is a pretty good situation for the guys from UniqueMonster. This is probably the best possible outcome for them after this. They've gone through map number 1, a map that we weren't 100% sure on. They picked up the win. We head into Oregon now, a map that they should be good on. Yeah. And they're in the lead. They just need to pick this up, and they're into day 2. It's pretty good.
Exactly. That's really good for them. And the fact that they did seem like underdogs, it makes it even more exciting that they are able to secure these kind of really confident pushes and be able to win over Mantis, who was thought initially that they would be able to secure a really a very swift win.
What does Mantis do now, right? They're 1 down, they're moving on to Oregon. They've probably been able to learn a little bit about this team, maybe a bit more than they knew before. What do they do here? Do they play the game that they're used to playing? If they just play it better, do they win? Do they have to adapt differently? What's the go?
I think it's going to come down to the map itself and the players themselves. So Oregon, in particular, it's a map where if you push from one angle, you can do it. For example, lobby push, there is a huge amount of disruption from the defensive side in order to counter this lobby push, but if you go down those lobby stairs and you have your Ying, your Glaz, etc., you can win. But the omnidirectional pressure really helps out. On the top floor, it's almost impossible to take without omnidirectional pressure, and I think that if Mantis, if UniqueMonster don't change up their act, they're not going to succeed.
Right. Who's going to win this map? Are we going to go to the best of 3? Are we going to see all maps? Are we going to find ourselves in border, or is it going to end here?
All 3.
I'd say if UniqueMonster will continue with how they play right now and be able to adapt, I'd say this could be their map as well. Actually,
does anyone think that UniqueMonster is going to pick this up? Are you saying now that UniqueMonster, irrespective of this map, that they're going to win?
They're going to win this.
It's a good change. We're back to 50-50. I like that.
I reckon that going 50-50 is the easiest way not to be proven wrong.
Yeah. That'll generally do it. Alrighty, guys and girls, we head on over to Oregon, our second map in our final best of 3, our last quarterfinal of the day. Mindfreak is in the semis. Corvidae is in the semis. Irons is in the semis. And one more team will make it through. Is it going to be UniqueMonster if they pick it up here on Oregon? Or is it going to be Mantis who need to come on back and win the next 2 to make it through to tomorrow? Let's see what happens.
Having a look to start with, we are going to see Mantis taking us down to the basement. This is, honestly, Oregon, both the basement and the kids' dorms and small dorms are probably evenly preferred. One thing I found quite interesting was seeing that smoke making those rotates all the way onto the south side of the attic. So Oregon is a map where you kind of need to have some form of roam game because it's really difficult if the attackers have all the time, if they have the entire 3-minute round just to spend on working that lobby hatch, that lobby drop down, those lobby stairs. They can bait out your smokes and disrupt, or basically counter all of your disruption with plenty of time. So it's going to come down to, is the aggressive roam game going to cut it?
I'd say with their setup as of right now, this could actually work really well with the rotations from Attic. We're seeing already going for a very aggressive push. Neo and Hysterics actually dropping in already, going for the plant.
What is this?
Oba, what is this? What are we seeing? The Hyper already pushing in, getting the kill. Oni-chan taking out Oba with the C4. Kazak's getting the kill on Hyper. Nilo getting the kill on Neo. Envy Taylor will be securing the kill on Hysterics. And Nalo will be finishing off Barbecue. That's the cleanup. What was that?
And it's over. The UniqueMonster absolute rush. What was that? 30 seconds into the game. And they have opened up lobby and they've gone down. And yet they lose it with 4 players on the other team remaining. They got absolutely slaughtered. Did you see that? It was smoke, Capital Bolt, smoke, smoke, Ying, Ying, Capital Bolt, plant, cover the angles, and Mantis said, no, I have this mirror. I don't even care if you kill the mirror in small closet. We are going to come back through hallway. We're going to come back through the laundry closet, and we are going to refrag you, and then we're just going to clean you up.
That was absolutely ridiculous how quickly things went 0 to 100.
I think that if we have any replays of that first round, it's going to be the entire round.
Yep, that will be the one.
So now we do have UniqueMonster heading on to their first defense, and they are going to be on Dorms. So, I mean, not really a surprise here. Dorms is actually a little bit more complicated a site to attack, which in turn makes it somewhat more favored by defenders. We do have Hyper making a rotate into the attic and reinforcing the far side. This is so that you can hold attic, which gives you complete control over the B Kids Dorms windows.
I feel like they're about to do the same setup that Cryptics did.
Honestly,
What they did, they reinforced attic, but still had that rotation hole made. So you would have, in case of a push towards the watchtower, they would be able to still counter that. That is a very interesting spot for the Valkgammon, very nicely placed. We will be seeing Envy Taylor doing exactly what I've mentioned, is the push on the watchtower. But he will be rappelling up to the rooftop to get that safe spot to drone ahead. He does actually have the drone in there as well. And let's see if that will work out. Kazakhs is already on the case as well with the pushing and just about to be ready to bust open those windows.
I do find it interesting both of these teams have chosen to bring the Capitao.
Yeah, both of them picking Capitao, which is an unusual pick at this point. Sweetblack manages to tag up Neo pretty slightly.
Not very much. Just a nice little love tap onto the ankle.
Yes, and we will be seeing now Mantas actually emphasizing their push onto the watchtower and taking the full control of it, I believe. Or at the very... Yep, they actually taking full control of it. And now that if they will be able to pop open the attic, that would mean that they would have another angle ready to go for their last assault.
What I'm expecting here is Mantis to be going for a B windows tower take. So you've got to take attic in order to deny any defenders from sitting inside attic and shooting you on B windows. But at the same time, they do have pressure onto master bedroom, which is really important because on an attack like this, if the defenders know exactly where you're coming from, they're just going to rotate, they're going to look at you, and they're going to just face you, and you know they're not going to let you just head on it, take it.
Envy Taylor gets a really nice headshot on Neo, just spotting the top of his head. And that is already the Jaeger down, who would be the aggressor, usually. Now it's all up to Oba, I'm guessing, to keep up the roaming game. But so far, we're seeing nothing. Actually, yes, he is. He's sitting around the kitchen area.
So I really like that. What we've got is Oba has opened up a lot of holes in the floor of Kids Dorm. If Mantis try and repel inside and plant, Oba is going to have really good visibility. But meanwhile, he's trying to deal with the one who's inside the bomb site. Manages to take quite a bit of damage and loses his first shield. He is going to re-peek straight away, just as we know that Blackbeards love to do. Envy Taylor looks like he's going to be pushing from the below.
Yeah, Envy Taylor does look like he will be attempting for a push from the armory stairs. Meanwhile, Sweet Black will be taken down, but Envy Taylor will be back to attempt to refrag and pick him up. Kazakhs will be holding the angle and will be taking out Hyper. And that is the control of the Kids Dorms potentially in... The flash is coming out. Yep, Blackbeard's already in Kids Dorms, and he only needs to hold angle into the white stairs, as that is now Hysterics will be going down with this really nice headshot, and all up to Barbecue and Oba, who are just returning to the plant. Oba will be getting the kill on Sweet Black, but Envy Taylor will be taking out Barbecue. All up to Oba, the main roamer of UniqueMonster, with half of the time left. The first kill will be coming out on Nilo. Nilio. Sorry. 1v3 situation. Kazakh still alive, the Blackbeard, Onichan, and Envy Taylor, the three big guys of Mantis. The first kill will be out. He won't have enough time, and he will be taken out by Kazakhs for this roundup as Mantis take the round 2 in their hand.
A really valiant effort, I would say, from Oba on the Ella there. But honestly, I'm really impressed by the way that Mantis had that complete circular collapse onto the bomb site. There were people big window, there were people Kids Dorms, there were people on the, I believe that's the north window.
Yeah.
Just outside, near on that attic balcony. There were people coming in from all sides, and it meant that once they realized, oh, there are 2 anchors inside. All right, let's kill those 2 anchors. Oh, let's just jump inside. Yeah. Oh, we have control of the bomb site, and now we're the defenders.
Yeah. And I feel that Oba just missed that kind of timing, and he ended up spending way too much time roaming under the objective, which didn't provide any kind of proper fragging position. And he only after he started rotating, he was able to pick up those kills.
Honestly, I was really disappointed that Oba didn't manage to utilize all of the holes in the floor of Kids Dorms in order to actually get some frags. I think that if he had been watching, perhaps he could have gotten it. But ladies and gentlemen, we have something special for you today. Mantis coming out left of field and taking us to a tower defense.
Ooh, this could be good. And now they're bringing out the castle as well, as he would be very crucial for this hold. I do also see the attic actually opening for the rotations, which could be a double-edged sword for them as well. A mirror window, and we will be looking also at the scoring with Kazakhs now being the main fragger for Mantis and Oba being the main fragger for UniqueMonster. And so far, Hysterics and the other 3 players are still sitting on that sweet, sweet donut.
The sweet, sweet donut that we all love and adore so much. As for this defense, it's really interesting. Looks like it will be a hard attic and meeting hold, which is going to give them complete eyes into the bomb site through their mirror windows. So it looks like in order to actually plant in that bottom floor, the ground floor part of tower, they're going to have to completely draw that out. So it's going to come down to the fact that can they take the top of tower, or can they just see where the pressure needs to be put and put it straight onto the meeting hall, and that is going to be a serious fight for them in that.
We do see the mute plays come out, as that is fully now reinforced and muted as well, preventing Hibana charges to go off. So that is another block, and potentially forcing UniqueMonster to rotate and actually go for the push into the watchtower, where they we'll see at the very least 3 members holding up the angles around the watchtower.
So something that's really significant here is Mantis has picked, a really unusual bomb site, and what that has done is it's made UniqueMonster take extra time, and you can see Sweet Black all the way in the top of tower. This is a really difficult position to flush a defender out of, especially if he has 2 ADS stacked up with him. When he does, Neo is going to be fighting onto Neilio here, right on the balcony.
Just missing those shots. That is just way too close. And ooh, Neilio peeking at Barbecue, taking him down. That is Thermite actually down. So that's the breaching potential done. Neo securing the kill on Neilio, and Hysterics taking out Kha'Zix. And just like that, it's a 4v3 situation. Hysterics dropping in and getting the drop on Castle as well. Making it, ooh, Envy Taylor though, securing the double kill on Neo and Hyper, making it a 1v2 situation. He will be dropping down, and he will be engaging on Nichan potentially soon. He will be spotted by the camera, but he will be turning at the very wrong moment, and Onichan will be securing that final kill on Hysterics.
A really valiant effort from Hysterics there, and I think that he was one of the players on Mantis that saw what needed to happen, and that is people to start swinging in the top floor and shooting the person at the very top of tower, because unless you're going to go for a hard meeting take, which is very difficult when they have mutes and reinforcements and players stacked up against that, you need to take the top of tower. And there was only one player up there, and they did manage to kill him.
They did manage to kill him, even though he seemed like he was way more prepared for that, and they were forced to actually push into the watchtower. And even the fact that he had 2 ADSs, Castle had 2 ADSs with him, that still didn't save him, as there was just a ballsy push by Hysterics.
So it's really interesting here. We had called out that UniqueMonster really favored Oregon, but taking a look, we have Mantis at a 3-round lead so far, really dominating on this map. Yeah,
it does look very interesting, as Consulate was actually initially a very convenient pick for UniqueMonster, and this time the map that they've been playing way more than expected even during the Pro League, that does leave you wondering what happened.
So we are going to have Hyper doing an 11 hit on this castle barricade, so it will only take 1 swift melee in order to surprise anyone on the other side. Now that we do have such a significant lead from Mantis, you're going to take back your prediction that this is going to be a clean 2-0 sweep from UniqueMonster?
I'd still think, because as if you remember, I did mention you could say sort of a COVID curse, where UniqueMonster do lose several rounds to adopt that playstyle and be able to switch their playstyle. And let's see if they will be able to, and if they will lose this round, then they would need to go for a very big change.
Well, we're yet to see Mantis. Oh, we're yet to see UniqueMonster. Sorry. We're yet to see UniqueMonster actually successfully defend any objective, and they have decided to finally go downstairs. And so Mantis, these castle barricades are just going to get countered by this sledge here, and I mean, they've got all the ingredients that they need to take this down. Players hiding inside of meeting are going to get exposed now. And the injure actually comes out. Eller is going to be debating, do I go for the revive, do I not? They're going to have to drone it out. He actually drops all the way down, and their Hyper revives him back on the objective.
Kha'Zix will be using his Desert Eagle to actually become a mini buck and open up that flooring, so he would be able to get some insight on those laundry stairs. Meanwhile, Envy Taylor will be pressuring from the construction side and will be forcing Ella to drop down as well, leaving Hysterics being the only person at the meeting hall, I believe. to push out, and just a miscalculation would cost Hysterics his life for this round, making it a 5v4 situation.
I really like what I'm seeing here from Mantis. They're doing exactly the opposite of what I was critiquing UniqueMonster for. See, when they're taking over here, for example, meeting for this this attack, they're pushing from multiple angles. They get people in lobby, they get people coming from kitchen, and they get people coming from tower. And that's what's catching these guys off guard. UniqueMonster making the right decision and falling back down the hatches, but we're about to see an engagement. And Envy Taylor wins that one.
Envy, what are you doing? The plant will be coming up from Nelio as well. And the push from Sweet Black, actually, will be coming up with... Ooh, Neo just turning around at the right moment. And the smoke grenade kill from Hyper as well. Envy Taylor will be taking out Barbecue from the meeting hall hatch. 2v3 situation. What do you think could happen? Neo actually does take out Envy Taylor.
I think Envy Taylor getting a little bit too aggressive there. Definitely had the advantageous position, but Hyper has been allowed to get all the way up here. But Oni-chan from the kitchen takes him down, and a second one. Nice headshot, cleans up Neo. And that is a swift 0-4 lead for Mantis. Can we see an easy 5-0?
That does look close to it, actually. It does look surprisingly close, as UniqueMonster, even after all of the experience that they've played out during the Pro League and playing against Cryptic, they still seem to be really underwhelming, surprisingly, even after all of the predictions.
Interestingly, they do have, it's not like they're unfamiliar with Oregon as a map. They are very familiar with it, and they do have strats for it. They have hard meeting holds and all these kinds of things. It's just that they're not working. Mantis has researched this map back and forth, in and out, and they live on this map. You see, they're happy to go to tower. They're happy to do these omnidirectional pushes to clear meeting. They are absolutely dominating.
What they seem to be good at is being coordinated and able to either refrag the moment one of the teammates dies, and then have a just a full-on coordinated push, so they don't push one by one. They all, except for maybe Envy Taylor.
Yeah, Envy Taylor. So having a look at the scoreboard, speaking of Envy Taylor, 9 for 1. Showing up really strong for his team. Overall, not many deaths coming out from Mantis, as they have been winning every single round. Overall, on the UniqueMonster side, fairly even. One of them not managing to get any yet, but I'm sure he'll try. He'll try his hardest, but so far it's really interesting. Envy Taylor does seem to be really just going straight ahead solo, and he's not afraid to take those fights. But the problem is, the flip side of that is he's getting a little bit too brave, and he's falling sometimes. He's peaking when he doesn't need to, getting a little bit overconfident, a little bit overzealous for kills.
But that's, I'd say that's also the, maybe it's a way of doing the psychological attack and getting the defenders all psyched up, saying, yeah, I'm already pushing, we're already there, we're already applying pressure. And maybe that does work sometimes on UniqueMonster.
Absolutely. So we are going to have Hysterics now. I really like that touch. So Hysterics is going to be using the Hibana to open up some holes for Blackbeard to look through all the way from Armory. You can see UniqueMonster do know this push. It's a very typical push. It's a really cut and dry, like this is how you play Oregon, right? And they're doing it, and they're doing it well. And this is why I think that UniqueMonster are confident with Oregon. It's just that Mantis are better.
Yeah, that could be just the case here, as minute 36 on the clock, and still not that much of the action ready, except for Barbecue putting up a couple of shots down the hallway. Neo's waiting for the right moment to fire off his arrows, and this could go both ways, with Oba now just about to get ready to pressure from the double window as well.
Yeah, UniqueMonster are getting really setting themselves up in a position to get the plant down very soon. The Capital goes in, and Nelio just takes off the head of Hysterics as he vaults in. Capital bots go out, but Sweet Black gets a nice C4 kill. And the second C4 kill, the vertical play from Mantis, absolutely dominating. Kha'Zix takes down Ober. It's now all up to
Barbecue.
All up to Barbecue. He finds the first one. We have this overzealous... The overzealous players like we were talking about, these guys want a swift 5-0, and they are not going to get their flawless round thanks to Barbecue saying, no, I'm not going to let this happen, not yet.
Not just yet. 1v3 situation. It does look doesn't look exactly good. He does take out the back beat shield, and Nelio will be closing down this round. And wow,
5-0.
Oh, 5-0, Dev. That is...
I called it.
That is absolutely ridiculous after that really, really close game on Consulate.
Yeah. They bring it back in a 5-0. Like a devastating victory for the guys from Mantis. They absolutely destroyed UniqueMonster there. Not only do they have the sickest jersey here, I voted in the competition because I love their jersey, but they had the sick plays here on Oregon, a map that even if we were wrong and it wasn't really UniqueMonster's map, they still should have been good enough to not go 5-0 there.
Yeah.
Potentially, but I mean, I think UniqueMonster have a lot of trouble establishing themselves when they're lacking confidence. We mentioned the Corvid curse. I mean, I don't want to kind of brag on about it all the time, but yeah, I mean, UniqueMonster clearly know Oregon. They know how it works, and they know when to call over the Hibana to make those holes, and they know exactly how they want the holes, and they're shooting out the Hibana charges. So they're really confident, and they know how it works. It's just that they know Mantis is better. And Mantis is playing really well.
They were much better this time around. They played very, very well. And I'm glad to see that they're back. And this now means, gentlemen, that all of our matches today have gone the full best of 3. We are getting the full Rainbow Six experience here at the APAC finals. I'm very, very excited about it. Now, everyone has had the opportunity to play. They played on the stage. No one's going to lose 2-0. Everyone's come away with at least a map and proved that they deserve to be here and that anyone on any particular day could make it through in this competition. So it's a very good thing to take away from day one, to be perfectly honest. It's nice to know that the region is just this close.
Yeah, and all of those matchups, even with UniqueMonster Mantis, the first map was actually very rich with all of those pushes and all the frags, and it's slightly disappointing to see now that there's a 5-0, but at the same time, it's quite a development. It's quite a development with now us moving to map 3, and this is exciting.
I'm really happy. I'm really happy to see Mantis showing that they can dominate. It's fantastic to see after we had a really big question mark. We were all scratching our heads a little bit after we saw them starting to play Consulate, not really forming up and not really understanding the map, so it appeared anyhow, but then completely dominating on Oregon. I don't think that we can really blame UniqueMonster. I think that Mantis, it was a GG, very well played.
It was very, very well played. Well, guys and girls, we have one map remaining and one spot left in tomorrow's semi-finals. Is it going to be the team from Southeast Asia, or are the Koreans going to bring it back with the reverse sweep? We are going to find out right on the other side of this break. We'll see you soon. Welcome back, guys and girls. It is our last map of the day. 2 teams remain. 1 spot in tomorrow's semi-finals is still up for grabs. Is it going to be the team from Southeast Asia, or are the Koreans going to prove that they're too strong? They really just needed to warm up. Gentlemen, we're about to find out. This could be a very close game. They've traveled all the way from the other side of the APAC region, and now they have just 1 map to fight it out. This is all that matters right now for these guys. If they lose, they're done. If they win, they get to continue on their fight. It's going to be tough.
We're going to see each of these teams pull out absolutely everything that they have, every last stop, every last trick up their sleeves. We're going to see it in this map.
The thing I want to point out here, that Cryptic from Southeast Asia, they were theoretically one of the best teams here this weekend. We thought we would see them in the finals. We knew that we would see them in the semis. And that team won 5 rounds in each of their maps, and they still lost. So it's tough. And the guys here from Mantas have done that now. They've gone 5-6 and lost, 5-0 and won. But it doesn't matter if you win 5-5-5. If you can't pick up that 6th when it matters, you're still out. So they played some good Rainbow Six so far, but they just weren't good enough on map 1. They destroyed their opponents on map number 2, but I genuinely don't know what to expect here. What do you guys think?
I'd say this could be, well, to start off, this is definitely not going to be a 5-0 that we've seen on Oregon.
I hope not.
I hope, yeah, I hope not. But at the same time, this could be a very close game as well.
I think that Mantis have sold me with that previous game. I definitely think that when this team knows their map and when this team has the confidence that they need to dominate, they can dominate.
Guys and girls, there is at maximum 11 rounds left of day number 1 of our first ever APAC finals for Rainbow Six Pro League. UniqueMonster up against Mantas FPS. Southeast Asia up against South Korea. It doesn't get any better than this. Let's get into the action.
Alrighty, so we're now seeing so far just a pretty standard reinforcement for the Fountain. I haven't really got to see if they reinforce the outside wall, which could be the selling point, you could say, of this strat. With Hysterics so far roaming around the customs area, and Neo will be setting up the last gadgets at the archives area. Kha'Zix and Envy Taylor will be pushing up from the south side, and Envy already will be securing the point at the east, near the east stairs, and just double checking for any roamers.
It's this Legion pick that I'm actually interested to see. It's nice to see that UniqueMonster are comfortable branching out into the new meta. I mean, of course, they're picking an Ella, but, you know, every single team loves Ella. It's the Legion that's kind of shows that you're comfortable in something special.
Actually, now that you've brought up the new operators and the new meta, it's actually first time in a while that we're seeing both Legion and Ella. It's always either or. And this time, this should be very interesting. The combination of Ella's concussion mines and the Legion traps to stop these rushes. That could be potentially the thing that UniqueMonster will need for this defense.
What's quite interesting is we are seeing the sacrifice coming out is the smoke. The smoke has been a 98% pick rate in Pro League for so long, been such a strong and integral part of almost every single defensive strategy. So we're going to see how these guys function with that one. I think that they've got a decent chance. I think that you don't need a smoke to make this work, and I'm curious to see how the Legion pans out. Meanwhile, we do have Mantis starting their collapse on top of the armory. They're going to be using their Hibana. They didn't actually bring a thermite. Interesting choice. You've got to be confident in your gunfights and confident in your mobility if you're not bringing a thermite, because you're much more limited options for opening up the objective. Kha'Zix actually loses his shield in that gunfight.
Oh, the C4 from Barbecue, though, will be coming out and securing the kill on Nilio. And that is Hibana down, but I believe Hibana already used up all her X-Kairos pellets, so that her main role has been played. And now Neo picking up the kill on Kha'Zix as well. That is Blackbeard gone as well, but Onichan with Envy Tail already pressuring from the stairs of the hallway, as well as Sweet Black applying some extra pressure from the ventilation room from below. Now it's still a 5v3. And at the very least, this doesn't look like it's going to be a flawless win for either team. With Obas holding angle in the offices, and Envy Taylor does predict where Oba, but just not enough time or flexibility to be able to pick up the kill. And Buck will be going down as well. And that is, just like that, Neo will be picking up the final kill on Oni-chan. And that is the first round going into UniqueMonster's hands.
This may not be a flawless game, but that's a flawless round right there for you.
That's a flawless round indeed.
UniqueMonster demonstrating that they know how to do this, and maybe, just maybe, Mantis got a little bit ahead of ourselves. Now, taking a look at what we saw at the very start of Oregon, the very first round of Oregon, we saw UniqueMonster go in for the attack, 5 men running straight down into the laundry, smoking plant, and guess what? They lose with 4 players on the enemy team still alive, despite getting the plant down. They got overzealous and overconfident. Now Mantis just won their 5-0. Are they getting overzealous and overconfident? And is that why UniqueMonster dominated so strong on that round?
It's also that the fact that I think that Mantis decided to go for that coordinated push like they did on Oregon. But the moment they lost 2 players, they tried, yeah, let's keep rolling with this. Let's keep rolling with all the pushes. But they just didn't have enough manpower for all of this, and they pretty much just got shut down. So the moment their kind of tempo is getting lower and lower and slowed by the defenders, that is the end for their main strat that they use, and they all have to pull out just that raw skill and dump all of the strats right into the window.
The weakness of going for an omnidirectional push where you spread your players out is that if each individual player that you have on your team peaks and doesn't win the fight, then that's one facet of your push that you're missing out on straight away, and then all of the your defenders can just completely turn away from that and ignore that angle. So we're going to have to see whether the trades can help out here. We do have, unfortunately, a disconnect, so it's going to be a 4v5 to start here. Mantis FPS looks like they've opened up a lot of the fountain wall facing into offices, and I believe that is so Sweet Black can play on the mirror inside of archives and shoot into our offices.
I believe that was the Thatcher that also dropped out, so they will need, UniqueMonster will need to go under the reinforcements to be able to take out those bandit charges. And I'm not too sure what is happening.
We are going to be having a rehost, as since there was no connection between the players. There has been no contact so far in the round when the drop happens, so rehost is happening.
Yep, rehost will be happening. So
it is likely we're going to be having a 0-1 scoreline, retaining the previous round in favor of UniqueMonster, and we're going to just replay that round.
Yeah, and that gives us the time to actually discuss that that push that was supposed to get Mantis the win, but it ended up in pretty much UniqueMonster securing that flawless win. That was they had a good preset for the whole push, and the moment that Blackbeard was down, that's where it all, you could say, went wrong, because Blackbeard was such a really important asset because he could peek through that Hibana hole with minimal exposure to his body.
The thing is that he was losing that fight even the first time that he peeked it. He lost his shield without dealing any damage onto the Jaeger that was peeking him. One thing that I was kind of disappointed about, that I thought really Mantis really needed in order to make this happen, was the Buck playing beneath. They needed to use that vertical play to flush out the anchors, because you're not capable of lying down at a place like half wall behind the bomb and challenging onto this Blackbeard and onto these Hibana holes and these entrances if you've got someone opening up the floor beneath you and shooting you in the gut.
Yeah, and I reckon they should have kept Buck below as well, just continue popping open that floor, so there will be less and less space for the defenders to walk around, meaning they will be cut off from those aggressive just push-outs.
The problem was that we had the Buck attempting to do it, but he just wasn't successful in actually finding any players, and he really should have been, honestly, opening up the holes and then just looking through them, keeping an eye on them, and then pushing straight down and managing to get some picks. It's really what you need to be able to do as a Buck, and it's kind of a requirement of fulfilling that role. Nonetheless, we are straight on back into the game.
And let's have a look, and we will be seeing now Mantis going on defense for all of this. We will be going one up on...
Yep, 1 up for... I believe that is meant to be 1 up for UniqueMonster, not 1 up for Mantis, as UniqueMonster did win the first round, and Mantis, obviously the second round where we had a UniqueMonster player disconnect didn't count.
Yeah, and we will be seeing pretty much the same setup now with the entrance. Well, pretty much not that much of reinforcing as far as I can see on the fountain area, and more of hunkering down on the actual plans.
Yeah, we're going to have to see how Mantis choose to actually defend this. I find it interesting to see that we've got the double information gatherer from the Pulse and Valkyrie. Is this Pulse really just going to be playing here? I mean, maybe at the very early stages of the round, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Pulse/Valkyrie heading on down below and trying to challenge on anyone who tries to push up from below.
I'd say this is rather an easy counter for... easy enabler for the Bandit to do the Bandit tricking, rather. And then after that all is done, Oni-chan will be able to rotate downstairs and be able to wreak some havoc from below. But that is to be seen.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing about the Bandit trick is that on this particular objective, you have a mirror anyway, so you might probably not going to be using the Pulse. Pulse is probably just to get an idea of whether the push is actually coming from this side. But meanwhile, Sweet Black managed to get an early pick onto Oba. That is the Ashe going down. All chances of UniqueMonster trying to get... Oh, unfortunately, Oni-chan misses the C4, but he goes for the second one, but it doesn't find anything.
It will be, we will be seeing Barbecue able to escape from that C4 the first moment he heard that duct tape coming off the C4.
Yeah.
And this time it's going to be a push through east stairs and into the offices potentially, so this quick switch could be actually worth it.
Yeah, I like this read. I mean, too many teams are too scared to change their mind halfway through a round. I mean, they might say, oh no, we only have 1 minute 20 to execute a push. We need 3 whole minutes to execute a push. But honestly, if all of their utility, all of their focus is on the other side, for example, the Bandit is in no position to Bandit trick this. The Thermite managed to get off successfully, and now they already have an avenue onto the site. There's no mirror inside of Fountain, but there is Neilio, and Neilio is prepared to play aggressive.
What could go absolutely wrong here is the fact that Barbecue, he will be downed anyways, but he did push very carelessly into the offices with Oni-chan taking a very nice headshot at Hysterics, making it a 2v5 situation. This is just the trade-off, just flawless games as far as this looks. Never mind, Hyper will be securing the kill on Neilio with that grenade.
The completely uncooked grenade actually manages to find Neilio. He was completely trapped in there, but that is the first step for UniqueMonster, taking 1 player off the board. Still 4 more to find, 3 more to find as Oni-chan falls to Hyper's commando.
Now it's all up to Neo and Hyper to actually clutch this up against now 3 players of Mantis as, just the bad timing on Thatcher, and Envy Taylor will be securing that kill. All up to Hyper now as he was already pushed into Archives. Hyper getting securing the kill on Kha'Zix, but he will need to be wary of Envy Taylor. He will be catching him off guard, but Envy will be flicking to his head and taking him out, securing the first round actually for Mantis and making it a 1-1.
And that's 2 defense rounds in a row. These teams showing that neither of them are going to get flawless. And I think this is quite close. I mean, really some interesting trades happening there, but honestly, it was a valiant effort doing that rotate. But when you couldn't deal with Neilio, you let Neilio go into Fountain and you let him get 1 kill. I mean, yeah, you managed to take him out after that, but you let him get 1 kill, and then, we just had, Envy Taylor just going wild like he does.
Yeah, and that was exactly how it all got played out. We will be seeing once again the pick of Elysian and Ella for UniqueMonster, as well as a Castle pick. And this could be potentially the setup that Mindfreak does use, but not that I can see it, actually. No, never mind. That won't be used at all, and potentially just the simple standard choke points.
So what a lot of teams do, a lot of teams with this castle is they use a castle barricade to block off the bathroom door, and then they open up a rotate hole into servers and workshop from bathroom, and this gives you a crossfire onto the hatch just above you, and it's a really decent way of holding that. And if you have someone with a shotgun in there, it's quite difficult to push that.
Exactly. And this does prove to also give you that extra walking room. So in case somebody does drop down, you still have that extra cover to walk around and be able to peek instead of being just caught with pants down.
Yeah, definitely. Another thing I'm really keen to see is how UniqueMonster choose to hold the upstairs. They have invested a lot of utility. A mirror inside of Archives here, and you know, 2 players, Oba and Neo, are inside of Archives playing on that mirror. The second mirror being placed facing into the Ventilation's bomb site, which will be manned by Hysterics. But we're going to have to see how this attack comes through. They're going to have to take offices, and then they're going to be pushing into Archives. But the question is, are they really going to be able to take Archives? I mean, there's quite a lot of utility invested into that side, and as you can see, there was a really nice angle there from the Armory Lockers window to take that down. So we're not actually seeing the castle barricade. We actually have a deployable shield. This is something that we're not really used to seeing, but that gets taken down, made short work of. Perhaps there was meant to be a castle barricade there, but now we have mirror in there.
And we will be seeing the Ash Charge being used as well, but Hysterics will be using his impact grenades to open up some angles on the attackers and the tellers. And Sweet Black attempting to go for the Kobe. Miro was actually will be now hanging around downstairs at the bathroom, and Ella will be the one played by Oba, will be doing some damage, but not just enough to take out Sweet Black, but that will make sure to pause his assault and get Nelio to now push up towards the hatch. Neo tries to engage Envy Taylor, but just only a couple of shots are being traded between each other, and that will force Anichan and Envy Taylor back onto the stairs and second floor.
Despite a lot of engagements going down, we haven't actually seen any players fall in this round yet. And
just like that.
Right when I say that, we see 2 players fall. Hyper manages to take down Sweet Black, and Kha'Zix gets a trade straight onto him. That is the Legion and the Buck down, so that Buck will not be able to open up the floor and flush out the anchors, which is going to be quite a significant impact on this attack, I think.
Yes, and with now 35 seconds on the clock, we'll have to see how this will be played out. Oba holding a very nice angle on Nelio, and will be securing the headshot on him, making it a 3v4 situation. Envy Taylor will be potentially pushing up towards the Armory Lockers as well, in hopes of catching Oba off guard, and this could be just the perfect point to catch Envy Taylor as well off guard. 10 seconds on the clock. They're cutting it very close. Kha'Zix will be going for the plant at the ventilation room, and the rotation will be happening as well from
he managed to take him down, but there's no time to get the plant down there.
Very well played by Neo, as he does sacrifice his life, but just to deny the plant at just the right moment, so that Thatcher won't be able to come in and go for the plant straight away.
There was just no time on the clock, was there?
At all.
Mantis looked at the upstairs, you know, heavy utility defense, and they said, look, we can't take upstairs. Let's try and go through tellers. Oh, they're pushing us in tellers. Let's go and take upstairs. And then by the time they actually wanted to get the plant down, it was just, oh, they're distracted. They're not watching ventilation. Let's vault in. And then hopefully they don't notice that we're planting on the buzzer. So really Mantis really being caught off guard there. They really need to be in their zone in order to do this. Speaking of, we are going to now see their interpretation of this defense. Something kind of similar coming out with this, the mirror, the castle. And, of course, Envy Taylor probably going to be doing an equivalent kind of roam to what we saw from Oba, but on the flip side, UniqueMonster bringing that Glaz and that Ying.
Yeah, this could play out very interestingly, especially with the fact that Mantis did not bring a Jaeger to this one, so there isn't really any way to counter those Candela charges. And as well as they brought Pulse, who might be quite a weird pick for this kind of plant, as there's going to be a opposite vertical gameplay from where the defenders will have to be defending from up top, the bottom part.
Honestly, I think this is quite an interesting pick, using the Glaz smoke meta as your attempt here, because what you're going to be trying to... The idea with a Glaz thing is that you find a choke point and you basically force yourself through that choke point. But the problem is that the choke point that they're going to try and force themselves through this main door right into ventilation is very exposed to any holes in the floor above. And we have 2 players above, and without any pressure from any kind of hard breach, which there is none of on the UniqueMonster side, it's going to be very difficult for them. And there we go. Right then, Glaz is taken down. Oh, and the frags are coming out left, right, and center. Now it's a 1v5. Barbecue isn't anywhere near the site yet. He's got 2 whole minutes to figure out how he's going to attack this one.
Boy, that escalated very quickly. That escalated very quickly with Barbecue now left just to clutch this up, and it doesn't look too good for him at all.
Yeah,
it doesn't look at all.
Yeah, honestly, I really think that Glaz Ying kind of push isn't going to help for this site, because you know that they're going to defend it from above. You know that they have various angles that they can take it on from, and you really need to at least have a Hibana or a Thermite open up the top wall and just fire some, suppressive fire over into the Armory Locker so that they don't focus all their time trying to kill your Glaz and your Ying.
Yeah, and the fact that they didn't spot Pulse going prone on top of these servers, that's what played a really bad joke on them. Kha'Zix, meanwhile, with Nelio, will be on the top floor, and pretty much poor Barbecue will be pinched from 2 sides. He will be going for the Deke, but will be taken down.
And a flawless round.
In a flawless round.
Yeah, flawless round for Mantis. They're showing themselves really strong right now.
And so far, both teams already just traded those flawless rounds. First up was UniqueMonster, and now Mantis will be grabbing that cheeky flawless round right now.
Apparently, no one can attack Ventilation Workshop. No one knows how.
Impenetrable defense spot.
Maybe it should be the primary bomb site.
Could be.
And they didn't get a flawless win on their primary bomb site, did they? It got much closer on those ones. So, nonetheless, we have Hyper heading back upstairs, and UniqueMonster going to be defending this. We're going to have to see whether Mantis learn. First time, they got picked off when they tried to use their only hard reach, that is the Hibana, onto that armory wall. Blackbeard was trying to peek it, but the buck beneath didn't manage to find anything, and the Blackbeard just lost the fights. 1 by 1, the Mantis players fell with no refrags, and UniqueMonster, in the end, had success.
Yeah, and we are seeing them expanding towards the fountain once again, with the lineup of the operators still seeming to be just about the same. Legion, Ella, Mira, Jaeger, and actually no, the Pulse is brought out as well.
I think they had a bandit last time. So the thing is, not having a bandit but having your mirror means that your mirror is incredibly exposed to getting Hibana. But the thing is, whoa, Kha'Zix managed to get an early pick there onto Hysterics. That may have been Hysterics getting a little bit too aggressive with that Pulse. That Pulse has been shut down. That's 1 C4 and a heartbeat sensor off the board early. But as I was saying before, I mean, Mantis only have the Hibana as their hard breach, which means that they're probably not going to be able to use it all on the mirrors.
We do see as well Sweet Black utilizing that underbarrel shotgun and popping open the first mirror window at the... I believe that was actually near the offices.
Inside the office itself.
Inside the office itself, yeah. And nearly getting the kill on Barbecue himself as well. And that could have been going bad. The cooked grenade will be coming out from Sweet Black and just tagging up Barbecue to that very little amount of health. Making it almost a 3v5 with that little map health pool.
Great idea there from Sweet Black, but it unfortunately did not have success for him. Neo was getting incredibly aggressive on this peak last time and actually managed to take down Kha'Zix on the Blackbeard. We're going to have to see whether Kha'Zix has learned his lesson and managed to get a little bit more success, but Neo is just so aggressive, and once again, he just lands his shots, and Kha'Zix does not.
Kha'Zix just does not seem to have a very fun and good time on border whatsoever, as Neo does take out his shield with a quick peek, but this time Sweet Black will be now attempting to apply pressure as well. He will go in prone and will be catching poor Neo off guard, but he will be traded out by Barbecue straight away, making it a 3v4 situation. Oba securing the kill on Onichan, Barbecue getting the kill on Taylor, but Nelio gets the kill on Oba, and Nelio secures the kill on Hyper, and Kha'Zix finishing this off with a kill on Barbecue.
I'm pretty sure that was about 9 frags coming out within the space of about 8 seconds.
Yeah, that was incredibly quick and very
it was trade back forth. It was Buck push in there, take down the one playing aggressive inside the offices, and then Mira trades him, and then another one trades, and then Ella comes to the flank, and then Ella runs into a Claymore. It's just absolutely crazy, and in the end, it was a 2v1, and Mantis managed to be successful on that one.
Yeah, and Mantis succeeded on that attack. Let's see if they will be able to emphasize on this current point advantage with their defense.
Yeah, if they can take advantage of this and still win the defense, that's going to be pretty significant. So far, what we had in the first 4 rounds of this map on water here is we had 4 defense wins. We had, UniqueMonster head over and successfully defend Armory Lockers and Archives. Then we had Mantis do the same, and then we had UniqueMonster get a flawless round on Ventilation Workshop, and then Mantis do the same. So Mantis is really showing up and saying, look, we're gonna break this pattern. We know how to read you. We are coming out, and we're gonna get you. And that's what they've done so far. Let's just see if UniqueMonster is gonna respond.
Alrighty, we will be seeing the whole UniqueMonster spawn on the southeast, and the run out from Envy Taylor just got way too cocky on this one and got just absolutely shut down. That's the main aggressive fragate down for Mantis, which is quite unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some great things from Envy Taylor today. He does tend to be the heavy fragger, but his greed is really, it's punished him several times. Honestly, if you count the number of kills he's gotten, counts the number of times he's died because of getting overconfident like that, I mean, I don't like the numbers ratio there.
Yeah, it does not look exactly good, but we will be seeing the push towards the security room as well, and that is now in full control of UniqueMonster. Let's see how this will be played out. Nelio will be going for the bandit trick, and will be taking out the first batch of X-Kairos, I believe. Yep, that will be gone as well. And still a 4v5. There's a slight numbers presence, and the Thatcher Grenade will be coming out. This time, Nelio won't be going for any of the bandit trick, and then Sweet Black will be attempting to go for the run out, but won't be able to catch any of the UniqueMonster players whatsoever.
Didn't you learn, my friend? Run out to get your teammates killed, as so Envy Taylor learned earlier in this round. We do have UniqueMonster looking, whoa, and the C4 comes out, lights up Neo very low. They have actually opened the the armory wall, but there's still that mirror, and I mean, while it's not an immediate threat because there's no one playing directly on it, it still gives the opponents a kind of vision that UniqueMonster don't have in return. I
did like the fact that he tried to bait it out. Sweet Black and Obo will be actually running into each other, and the drop shot will be coming out. Meanwhile, Kazakhs and Onichan and Sweet and Black will be sweeping out. Onichan securing the double kill at the end, and that is just like that. Mantis able to emphasize their advantage with the points, now being 4-2, I believe, ahead of UniqueMonster.
Honestly, it was Mantis, taking on and winning that attack round, and then succeeding to keep up their streak of winning the defense rounds. That's what's kept them in this, and that's what happens when you get onto maps where there seems to be such a strong preference for particular bomb sites. But now, we're going to see Mantis go and defend, we're going to see UniqueMonster once again defend this top floor, and Mantis have to demonstrate that it wasn't just a fluke, they can win this attack twice in a row.
Yeah, and what is interesting is that the fact that they switched back to Valkyrie, that was a rather more successful pick for them compared to what they had with Pulse. So Pulse got denied very quickly by Blackbeard and shut down. And I feel like with this lineup of operators, this could be slightly different on how this could be played out.
Yeah, honestly, I think that it's coming down to the fact not that the lineup of operators, but more like the individual plays that are coming out. I think overall it tends to be plays that are winning this, plays that are winning and losing this, I should say. So, for example, Mantis going for that run out. I mean, the run out for the previous round didn't actually have an effect on the rest of the round, but it's little things like that that are kind of dictating what's happening in the rest of the round. Maybe not in that instance, but certainly in other instances. We're having some... It's successive traits that's really winning each individual engagement.
Yeah, and we will be seeing so far Neo actually holding angle at the armory lockers, and Hysterics holding the angles at the CCTV room. So a right moment run out could actually get Hysterics if not 2 good kills. But at the same time, this could turn out really bad for him as well.
Yeah, I mean, if Mantis twig to what's happening there and they do go for a hard clear onto CCTV, this is going to spell doom for that Valkyrie. Poor Hysterics sitting in there, but, one step at a time.
That's the actual
as
doom.
you said it. But then there's a second one. Barbecue is sitting in there with the mirror. Ideally, he would be able to rotate backwards. And he tries to get aggressive, and he gets shut down by Nilo. Now it is all up to Neo, Oba, and Hyper to take this. There's 3. Oh, and now Oba gets taken down. Envy Taylor shutting him down. And Neo just says, that's my excuse to get even more aggressive. They're not learning. They're not going more passive. And as soon as they're losing, they're getting more aggressive. And this isn't going to work for him.
They're getting desperate with now a 2v5. And this could be the end of the match. With Hyper securing a very naughty headshot on Envy Taylor, shutting down the main fragger. But there's the remaining lineup of Mantis left. Onichan and Kha'Zix already taking points near the Hibana hole. Neo will be downed by I believe Onichan. Onichan goes for the drop shot, and that will be the securing of the win for Mantis, as they will be winning and advancing further in the bracket into the semifinals for tomorrow.
To face Mind Freak.
To face Mind Freak, that's going to be a challenge and a half for them.